Hey y'all, it is June the 11th, 2024. Y'all, last night I had a couple of dreams that I remember. And in fact, before I tell you about them, I want to let you know they weren't really significant, or, I can't really call it. Who am I the judge? They weren't significant to me at the moment, and I assume they won't be significant to you, but I could be wrong about that. All right, I could be wrong, so that's why I'm going to put it out there. But I will have you know that I went on Google searching for the truth. I went on Google this morning, and it's exactly how I remember. As far as the other night, I didn't have a dream, or I didn't recall any dreams. And, my suspicion was it was because of the, more or less the fast food slop that I had eaten right before I went to sleep. And Google was talking about, it could definitely affect your sleep if you're eating what they call fatty foods. And already I could say that that's not really accurate what they're saying, nor does it really have a definition when they say fatty foods, right? But it say, fatty foods could either, cause some people to have nightmares instead because of maybe the indigestion going on while they're eating. Perhaps that causes even physical pain, which leads to some sort of psychological discomfort leading to nightmares, something like that. Or perhaps they could not even have dreams because they fail to enter these proper REM cycles because of the indigestion, and therefore they don't even have the dreams. So not only is it, reefer or whatnot, and maybe those kind of drugs that you would imagine keep you from having dreams, such as alcohol, but also, it could be slop that you're eating, just because you're down bad and you gotta eat some slop before you go to sleep. That could possibly and probably affect your sleep cycles in one way or another. However, and Google is always lying anyways, because what is fatty foods? It's not even a definition of that. For example, people on ketogenic diet and ketosis, on that ketogenic diet, lots of times they're eating foods that are very high in fat. Right? So it's not really a definition you could have, I would assume peanut butter, I'm not sure. Stuff like avocados and this and that, staples in the ketogenic diet that are very high in fat. Right? But that's very different from eating a bowl of slop like I did the other day. That is extremely different. And they're referring to both these things like they're the same thing. That they're both in the category of fatty foods, or quote, fatty foods. Doesn't make any damn sense, but I kind of get where they're going with that. So last night, here's the thing. I had a couple more dreams that I could relay. But to me, not very significant. And I got to note that I could pursue having dreams by avoiding certain things, by avoiding ingesting certain things, but that doesn't mean that the dreams that I have will increase in value or significance to me, or maybe they do increase and I just don't recognize that at the moment. All right, so for example, the first dream that I remember, and I didn't even write it down yet, but I still remember it pretty good. I remember it well enough as far as the main points. At one point, we're in an apartment. When I say we, I don't even know who. But I was coming out of the apartment, and it seemed to be an apartment that I lived in a long time ago. At one point, I lived in an apartment complex in which I was 3 stories up. And I remember basically how it looked and felt outside. So that was pretty much the same place as in my dream. 3 stories up. It's real hard to carry a big screen TV up 3 stories, but we did it. One of those old school big screen TVs. You know, those ones that are like big and wide and stuff like that. That was back when I used to watch TV at all. And that was actually the big, wide, huge, big screen TV on the 3rd floor. That's the one we wound up. That was the last TV I wound up even watching it, really. Ever since then, I don't watch TV. But and this was a long time ago. At this apartment, and that's all in reality, but at this apartment in my dream, for some reason I had a guest over, and I was seeing him out or something. You know, it was time for him to like go and do something or whatever. And as he's leaving, there's a dog who apparently is my dog at the time. I never had a dog like this. And what it is basically it was a German Shepherd, but like with the brown and the black and stuff. Way when I was a little kid, we had some German Shepherds. We had 2 of them, and they had puppies, but they were both just pure white. All right, way back when I was a little kid. This German Shepherd resembled more so of a German Shepherd who I knew. Good brother of mine had this type of German Shepherd, and her name was Nada. All right, and actually she passed away maybe like a year or something, maybe a little bit more, a year ago. Nada. So, but this dog wasn't Nada. In fact, I think it was a boy dog, but it looked a whole lot like Nada. You know, that type of a dog. And so the type of a dog, it wound up getting out of my apartment, sneaking out of my apartment, and then it's because the guy who was leaving my apartment, he was being kind of careless. Right, he was on his phone or doing some stuff. He was like not paying attention, and so he accidentally lets the dog get loose from my apartment, and the dog like slips through his legs. He's all fumbling and stumbling, and the dog slips through his legs, and it winds up going down to maybe the 2nd floor, and at the 2nd floor it accidentally messes up and it falls like through the railing somehow, and it falls about 2 stories to like slam on the ground. All right, and instead of being, see, at first, you know, the dog looked dead, and we're like, oh god, the dog dead. But it wasn't really dead, and instead of it being all bruised up and just maybe bones broken and stuff like that, what happened was kind of like a pinata, where the dog, it fell and hit the ground, and on that side that it hit the ground, it kind of like bursted open a seam on the side of it. A big seam, like imagine a wound. It was just like big, it was long. All right, and so you figure like this dog's about to bleed out and stuff. This wound is so big, and oh man, this is a disaster. So we recognize this is a disaster that just happened, and so we take the dog, scoop it up, and we take it to somewhere to get some help. We don't wind up taking it to a hospital, and the thing is, for some reason, the next place that we show up is a concert, and the best that I can kind of like guess, it was a Prince concert. Remember Prince? I really like Prince's music and stuff, and somehow we wound up at the Prince concert. And, you know, unfortunately, while we were there, Prince fell off the stage, and he hurt himself pretty bad. And we noticed that, and everybody was like kind of, you know, aghast at that real quick. Prince went to the back of the, you know, backstage to get tended to, and somebody had patched him up. They patched him up fairly quick. And they sent him back out, and Prince is back out on the stage, rocking and rolling. So almost within no time. And I said to myself, damn, dude, someone's back there who could patch up Prince like this so efficiently and stuff. We got to find out, because we got a dog that needs to be patched up. There's a gaping wound in this dog right now. And so we go back there, and sure enough, the person who we find, who apparently patched up Prince, he went ahead and patched up my dog too, my dream dog or something. And that all wound up working out for the best. So that was kind of the end of that dream. What significance that holds, I really don't know. And then later on, I had another dream. It was fairly short. I was on some sort of property. It was a nice little house in a nice little neighborhood. The house was, for some reason, adjacent to a gas station, if you will. And while we were there, I come to find out that the house that I was there at, it was belonging to a guy who I know, who actually I haven't talked to in a while, not for any reason, but just because I've been kind of busy doing my own thing. He's a CrossFit coach of mine, and a good buddy. And, hold on, let me turn around. And, you know, we were at his house, a pretty nice house, pretty spacious, had some room outside and stuff. And he didn't really care about it, but there was a lot of vegetables and plants planted outside, in which I was pretty excited about because I like gardens and stuff like that. But he's cool with it, but he didn't really care about the garden outside. And so I was tending to the garden, and everything was lush and beautiful and stuff like that. And I thought that was real cool. And we noticed that like houses around there, they also had gardens full of vegetables and stuff like that. It seemed pretty peaceful, but at the same time, you know, very different from what you would see, what I've ever seen. And that's, people seem to be preparing for whatever, like to not be able to get food from some outside place or whatever, like prepping, if you will, with vegetables and stuff like that. They seem to be doing that. And it was a pretty short dream, and that was about it for the dream. All right, so I don't have any idea what kind of significance that might have, but I'm over here and I'm documenting my dreams either way, whether or not they do have significance. And I'm just gonna have to deal with it. You know, perhaps later on I'll find out that these dreams have significance in which I don't currently recognize. I'm still on a journey, and I'm not sure what direction this journey is going or what I'm being shown and for why. Alright, so that's about it as far as dreams. And later on, I am going to upload a video, like I said. I was kind of fiddling with it yesterday as far as to describe the bizarre nature of what I've gotten into or what I've come across that is more bizarre in reality than even my dreams are bizarre. This is more bizarre. And I think I know when I get back to the crib, I'm going to do a couple of things to include, throw together something pretty quick to give y'all an insight of the bizarre goings on of reality right now, so that y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, because I don't think y'all know what I'm talking about yet. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. It's June the 11th, 2024.